Hey folks, Mr. Justin here with Secret Weapon Miniatures, and I want to thank you for joining me on another Workbench Wednesday quick tip tutorial. If this is your first time tuning in, please remember to like, subscribe, click on the bells and whistles and everything else you need to do to make sure you're keeping up with the goings on around here. And of course the Workbench series, Workbench Wednesday series, whether it's the live event or these canned quick tips, are based on your requests. So if there's something you want to see, let me know and I'll make sure it gets done for you. Or at least somebody out here will. This week I am back with this great project, working on the second panel this time. Each of these panels is going to represent a different request from someone in the community, and when it's finished I'll permanently mount it in that shadow box there. And once I get the basics of it done, I actually plan to come back and then take each panel and kick it up a notch. Right now we're working on the basics that folks can do with our acrylics, and just that in a brush. I won't be airbrushing until much later in the series. But right now, I have a panel here where I'm going to show off a couple of quick chipping techniques. And all I've done so far is painted a splotchy generic green, given a little bit of a dry brush to highlight some edges there. And in this case, I have verdigris dark green. Was on my desk from doing the verdigris earlier, so it's a perfect green for this, I've decided, as long as I add some rust shadow to it. Make it a little darker rather than go digging for a different green. We're going to use this color for two different techniques here. First off, let me grab a brush here. Mix these together. See what kind of color we get. I'm learning now to avoid mixing on the table since it jiggles the camera. We'll find a long-term solution for that, but hey, each little improvement, one little baby step at a time here, right? Alright, so I have what is definitely a darker green, which for right now, that's all I need. And with that, this is one of my favorites, and it's a reason I always keep bits of foam and even sponge. For some projects I'll use a chunk of sea sponge. I have steel wool, other products, but what I use most reliably is a bit of pluck foam. For some reason, it seems that I have a lot of friends that have a lot of this stuff just sitting around and they just throw it away, and when I say, hey, if you could give me some, it never turns out to be hard to get. Unless you're at a convention and you're getting ready for a class, in which case, Aaron Lovejoy and I are fighting over this like half-size scrap of this, going, no, we can make this work. Maybe we just wash it between classes. And what I'm doing here is actually dipping the end of my sponge into that paint. And I'm going to find a spot to get some of it off. You can actually see, here I'll do a bit on my nail, you can already see that I'm getting that nice stippled effect, and that's what I'm looking for. Very gently pressing with this, just like a little stamp. I can take an edge and very carefully make a line. Across it. Super duper easy peasy. We're going to look at another way to make a line here. With thanks to Matthew Fontaine for introducing me to this technique. All right. Well, first, I need some tape. Whatever handy Tamiya tape. And I'm going to make a line of chips right there. Just going to put my paint right over that. Or my tape. But I'm also going to put the paint. Now I can't figure out which one I'm doing. I am painting tape, so I'm going to trip over that, I guess. So I'm actually going to take my paint. And this one takes a little more, I don't know, aim, I guess. A little more delicate, but not a lot. And I'm going to make little strokes down towards my paint, or my tape rather. Doing it again. So using the tip of the brush, making my little strokes down towards the tape. Down, 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 down. Let's decide there's a bigger one right there. Maybe near the edge. Good tip on that brush. There we are. But wait, there's more. I'll load up a bit of the verdigris light green. Get a nice tip on my brush. And I'm going to come right back over some of those. Little strokes again. Right inside of those dark spots. Everything goes according to plan. We have a nice sharp-edged chip, complete with highlight and shadow. On these other pieces, I'm going to shrink. These other pieces, you can get in here with a nice fine point brush if you've got some tip control. So, you know, maybe not me, not every day anyway. There we go. And give some of your bigger ones a little highlight underneath them. Help them stand out a bit. Make them feel special. Or maybe somebody really cared about that part of the tank. You don't know. Don't you judge that. Stop holding my ferrule. And same thing. There we go. Now here's another fun one. On the edge of a piece, I can do this a little differently. I'm going to come in with my bright color. I'm going to give us a nice chip right here on the edge. Oh no, what happened there? While I wait for that to dry, I'll find a couple of additional spots here to go ahead and highlight. Each little highlight brings it a little more alive. You can, of course, direct some of those highlights if you're trying to draw attention to a particular section of the vehicle, surface, and a little extra chip in here. All right. Now, that little bit I did on the edge has dried. Yep. So I'm going to get some of that dark color on my brush. And once again, with the edge of the tip. So I'm taking the tip, but I'm coming in flat. Make sense? So here I go. I'm going to go tap, 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 tappity tap. And there we go. We get our highlight and our chip. Break it up a little bit. Get a little spot right here. Boop, boop. There we are. Ooh, well, we're out of focus. Well, that's a bummer. But there you go. Tip, tip, tip. Stipple, stipple, stipple. And we get nice, easy chips from just a bit of pluck foam. Highlight it up. I should make sure I clean my brush before I point with it. Just highlight it up just a little bit to give them a little bit more life. And then we have the line we made with the edge of our foam, the tape where we did our two-color process, and the chipping we did on the edge with the edge of our brush. And this one tends to look better when it's nice small chips. Matthew Fontaine has a really great diorama piece he did for a games day involving the Imperial Fist, which is a great example of that technique. Last Stand, I think it is. But it's great. Anyhow, there are the chipping techniques for this one. As always, driven by you folks out there in the community. Thank you very much for requesting this one. And of course, tune in next time for another tutorial using this bad thing right here based on your questions. Happy hobbying in the meantime. As always, stay safe out there. Cheers from everyone at Secret Weapon.